Vantage Point Outdoors is brought to you by Woody Sporting Goods, in association with Matthew Solo Camp, and by HME Products, Magnus Broadheads, Kentucky Legacy Outfitters, Beyond Backwoods Productions, K-Tech Designs, Kishel's Quality Animal Scents and Lures, Black Eagle Arrows, Rough Ridge, Scent Lock, HHA Sports, Southern Ohio Outfitters, Bob's Custom Calls, and Bowfinger Archery. This week's VPO Minute is brought to you by HME Products.
Hi, Brian here from Vantage Point Outdoors with this week's VPO Minute. This week's question comes to us from Jason Bethel, who asks, is the best time to tag a mature buck during the moon phases, or do you just wait for the rut? Jason, that's a great question. I know there's a lot of scientific research and a lot of studies and a lot of articles about moon phases and deer movement, but from personal experience, I believe your best time to tag one of those big mature buck is definitely during the pre-rut into the rut. That's going to be your best chance to catch one of those big buck up on his feet during the daylight hours once they go nocturnal with the hunting pressure. Another good time that I found personally is early season, those first couple weeks of the archery season here, especially in Pennsylvania, when those bucks are still in their summer patterns from bedding to food, and they haven't really had a lot of pressure, and they're really not 100% nocturnal. But once they get that hunting pressure, I feel that the best time to tag a mature buck is definitely the pre-rut or the rut. Like I said, I know there's a lot of research out there with the moon phases and deer movement, but just from my personal experience, I've had the best luck catching a big buck on his feet during daylight during that pre-rut and the rut. So it really depends on the area and the deer that you're hunting and how much pressure they really get, I think. But you know, if you have good luck with the moon phase and you can make that work, then that's great. You know, you really got to do what works for you. But here at Vantage Point Outdoors, we've really found the best luck with us for catching a big buck is definitely that pre-rut and that rut. So that's a great question, Jason. We appreciate your question, and we'll see you next week on the VPO Minute.
To submit your questions for the VPO Minute, join us online at facebook.com/Vantage Point Outdoors. This week's VPO Minute was brought to you by HME Products.
Hi, Brian here from Vantage Point Outdoors with this week's VPO Minute. This week's question comes to us from Jason Bethel, who asks, do you use the moon phases? Is the moon phase...